Atlanta, this young man that grew up outside of Philadelphia, went up to school in Boston, and now will be headed to learn how to speak with a slight Southern drawl.
I think, Boo, for Arthur Blank, turn the page. It's a new era now of Atlanta Falcon football with Matt Ryan at the helm. You're talking about a kid who carried a football team that did not have great receivers, a great offensive line, or great running backs. Matt Ryan, you talk about his size, 6'4 3/4, about 220.
With the 6th pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Julio Jones, wide receiver, Alabama.
So Julio Jones coming to the stage. This breaks the hearts of some Rams fans that hope that he possibly could drop to them down all the way to 14. It also leaves Blaine Gabbert up for grabs for the 49ers, who are now on the clock, as we all create some headspace for those developments. Tell me about Julio Jones, Mike.
Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Matt Ryan is ecstatic right now. What a trade they pulled off.
Michael Turner, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, Matt Ryan. That's not a bad nucleus to move forward. We're going to take a break. When we come back.
With the first pick of the 5th round, number 137 overall, the Atlanta Falcons select Grady Jarrett, the defensive tackle from Clemson. Rise up, rise up!
All right, there you have it, Grady Jarrett, as we discussed before, big favorite of Dabo Swinney, and he would argue, too, that guy causes the kind of confusion up front that allows some of the other playmakers on that defense to make hay.
Grady Jarrett needs to play in a penetrating scheme, but when he does it, he is dynamic. He is short, but plays with great leverage, plays with great balance, and look at him chase from that nose position. He will not give a center a break at all.
What's good? How y'all doing this evening? Welcome back to Draft Prospects here on Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. It's your boy, The Don, here with my co-host, King. What's good, man?
What's good, Don? How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm great.
It's been a great day so far. You know, nothing spectacular, nothing amazing, but it's just a average great day.
Exactly. All right. So, everybody, you know, if you're watching this, make sure you go to our YouTube channel. If you're watching it on Twitter, on Periscope, if you're watching it on Facebook, go to our YouTube channel, Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. Go over there, make sure you subscribe to it, and watch it from there, because you can be in the live chat anywhere, but you want to be where all the action's at, and that's where YouTube is, on our YouTube channel. All right. We got our special guest with us right now, Marsh. Let everybody know who you are and where they can find you.
So what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on Twitter at Hurricanes Marsh. I write for the State of the U. I got the Forza podcast, which is about the Canes, and then also a sports radio host down here in Miami. So there's a few ways, but most probably on Twitter is your best bet.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad you came through. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, for sure.
All right. So if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share this content out with Atlanta sports fanatics. And hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. All right. let's go ahead and pay the bills real quick before we get into the show. King, take it away.
Support for Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over the technology development to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming. So, as y'all know, I rock with the Manscaped hard. Ever since I've been using it, I've been rocking with it hard. Y'all know I love my ball deodorant. Got no sweaty balls for me. Keep it nice and fresh. The Lawnmower 3.0 is amazing. Don, lawnmower, not the lawnmower, but the nose hair trimmer. How's it been working for you?
Man, I could breathe so easily now. Like, man, it's hard to explain, man. It's hard to explain. Like, I don't wake up anymore, blowing my nose because sometimes stuff gets stuck in there. And if it's in there overnight, it can mess up your sinuses and stuff. Like, I can breathe so easily now. So thank you, Manscaped, for the for the nose trimmer. Hey, and they say you can also use it on your ears too, because some people get hair in their ears, but I don't have any, luckily. So I don't think I'm up in age that quick to develop that hair. So,
and if you need a electric trimmer, that's why Manscaped had to redesign the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineer team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, the Lawnmower 3.0. The third generation trimmer features cutting-edge ceramic blades to reduce grooming accidents thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. All right, people, reduce grooming accidents. So read the directions, man. If you don't read the directions, you might nick yourself. And like me and Don always say, you don't want to be like the Gorilla Glue girl trying to sue us because you messed up on the and not read the directions. Exactly. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. Meaning, take your time. Don't be trying to rush. Take your time. Protect your jewels. You don't want to nick yourself because it hurts. The waterproof technology allows you to groom in the showers. One of the coolest features is the LED light. That LED light is amazing. You can see exactly what you're doing, and that's the most important part. Trying to stay away from getting nicked, because if you nick yourself, it will hurt because it's 7,000 RPM motor with a quiet stroke. That's going to hurt people. Exactly. It's going to hurt. And let's not forget about the charger stand so it can stay charged. It will stay charged. I keep mine on my stand, and whenever I need it, I just whip it out. It might be used tonight or tomorrow, but it needs to be done soon. Trim that junk. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code FILASP2021. Go to manscaped.com. Use the code FILASP2021. All
right. Make sure y'all get your products. It's Valentine's Day. Well, if you ain't bought it now, then you're going to be looking crazy down there come Sunday. So
don't have a screaming, I don't want that. That's going to be your fault. You should have got your Manscaped. You'd have been all good.
And then you're going to try to wait the next week. And then next week, Aunt Flo going to be visiting her. So
it's going to be a real,
you're going to be a long road ahead for you. Just saying. All right, let's get into the show. So let me stop. All right, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. What's good, Bobby D? He said Jarrett was the biggest steal in the history of Atlanta Falcons football. Yes, that is true. Got him in the 5th round. He should have went early, but hey, we'll pick him up. What's good, Atlanta Nation? What's good, Wallace? What's good, Knight? Our partners in crime. Y'all always here every time we do a show. We can be doing a show on whatever. Y'all still gonna show up, which is good. We appreciate it. Atlanta Nation said they sent it on accident. It's cool, man. We all make mistakes. All right. So we're here to talk about Gregory Rousseau tonight. All right, the defensive end for the University of Miami. All right. So what is his strengths and weaknesses? Go ahead and run them down for me, King.
All right, strengths. Great instinct. He's able to read and react. Good vision. Got a quick first step. He got that speed to get around corners, which is very good in NFL. You want to be able to get around those corners. Active hands, able to shed blocks, can bull rush, unlike Vic Beasley. Effective rip move, unlike Vic Beasley. Can rush from the inside. Agile. He's not stiff, unlike Todd McKinley. Solid run defender, unlike both of them. And upside to get better. But the weaknesses is he's only played 1 year because in 2018 he was injured, and then this past year he sat out due to COVID. So you don't know what you're going to get from him. He's raw and he needs development. So he's going to be a piece that he maybe 2-3 years down the line he's a lot better than his rookie year. So that's something we need to watch for. He already had a serious ankle injury. Like I said, 2018, he was done. Lost experience and development time sitting out 2020. And he needs more pass rush moves. I wouldn't say more. He needs to redefine them and get better. You know how we used to complain about Vic Beasley not actually working on pass rush moves? We need him to work on his and get better if we want him in Atlanta. And sometimes he stands up too high. Other than that, he's a solid edge.
All right. Height 6'5". I love the length of him. 260. That's kind of, average-ish, but he's still young. He can still put on more. If he hit NFL weight, you looking at him being 275 at the most or 280. So if he could put on a couple more pounds, man, he'd be a solid DN. He could play strong side defensive end because he can set that edge and he can stop the run. So that's a good thing about him. 40-yard dash unofficial is 4.65. So that's good for a DN. Marsh, you've seen this kid play, pretty much every Saturday or Thursday nights whenever y'all play ACC football. What do you like about Rousseau?
Gregory Rousseau's a guy that really kind of blew up on the scene in 2019. Wasn't even starting week 1. It actually took him until week 6 to crack the starting rotation. And even then he got 15 and a half sacks in one season. And so he's very, very dominant as a pass rush. He's very consistent. He's a good kid to build your defense around. He's, great attributes, and you can see that he has a ton of upside. It sucked that we didn't have him play this year because, one, we didn't have that force on the defensive line anymore. But also, I think it would have been really good for his development to put more than just 1 year on his tape. So, but all in all, there's a lot to like about Gregory Rousseau. He might even be taller than 6'5". Some people have him listed at 6'6", 6'7". The kid's he's huge. Whenever you see him in person, he's giant.
Yeah, Adam Esky on Twitter, he said he's 280 now, so I didn't even know that. Like, he also said Rousseau went to the Senior Bowl, and he was his agent. He told the scouts he weighed at 280, so that's good.
Yeah,
that's real good.
Yeah, that means all season he was working.
Yeah. Working. And Wallace said, my question to y'all: if we're switching to a 3-4 defense, and he's going to fit because we probably need a old offensive linebacker to rush off the edge.
I
read his report. Hold on. Let me see his report. Let me see. But yeah, I'm gonna pull up his report in a minute though. I don't know. I don't know if he can be an outside linebacker. I'm pretty sure he could be one, but I think he'd play better, with his hand in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. I mean, he's played, when he was at Miami, he could rush from the interior, a 3 technique, but also, he played as a stand-up defensive end. So, he's dual threat in the way that he rushes the passer, but, I don't know what defense y'all are going to be running this year. So
3-4. He said, DP said that we're going to be multi-funded. We're going to have multi-funds. Right. We're going to be 3-4 or 4-3, but
whoever we playing.
Yeah, whoever we playing. But what I've seen out of Dean, you're going to see more 3-4.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rousseau could, I think he could fit that, in that edge rush type, but he can play in multiple ways, man. So I think he's I don't know where he's gonna necessarily fall in the first round. It really is gonna be interesting to see him at the combine, but he's a physical freak. His wingspan is insane. He has great frame, great length. So he's a really, really exciting prospect.
Yeah, when you speak about him being a physical freak, 2016 he was Miami Hero all day, first team as an athlete because he played wide receiver and safety.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't switch to DN to his senior year in high school. Mm-hmm. So that shows you right there that he's really talented and he's really a freak of nature athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when you look at pictures of him in high school, I mean, he looks like a twig. It's actually kind of funny, but came to Miami as a 3-star, and he was just one of those guys that developed really, really quickly. Even, I mean, when he was a true freshman in 2018, I remember at the spring game, as a true freshman, he was already, dominating, and then he got hurt. So that obviously didn't work out well, but he's a guy that, he's going to develop. He just may need fans and the organization just may need some patience with that.
Well, Atlanta is not known for being patient with players. Just like they will chew you out by year 2. They probably chew you out by the end of your rookie year, to be honest with you. So
yeah, that's true.
Let's be real.
Miami fans are the same way.
Let's be real. Like we drafted AJ Terrell, and folks was already clowning on this man. He got cooked in the LSU in that championship game. I'm like,
one play.
Exactly. Y'all worrying about one little play. Come on now. But anyway, I just read the report. He can be multi-funded. Like that's fine. He can play in multiple fronts. That's not the issue. But my issue is if he's called to be in coverage, that's something I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that would be a big concern for me too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put him in coverage, drop him back, but if it's obvious passing downs, things like that, he's the kind of guy that you want on the field and is going to add a boost to that defense that needs a good boost.
Okay. All right, so the NFL comparisons to him, a lot of people comparing him to Montez Sweat. What's your takes on that?
I think it's hard to compare these players, but I could see that. I'm trying to think of another player that compares to him, because you're not going to see a lot of these guys that are 6'6" and possibly 6'7". I don't know. Like, what do you think about that comparison? What do you think about Montez Sweat? And do you see a Rousseau in him?
I like Montez Sweat. I think Montez Sweat is
he's good. I feel like with that Washington defense, he's looking real good. You got Chase Young, you got DeJuan Payne there. Like, he's right now, you still don't know how he's gonna end up looking. He hasn't reached his ceiling yet because he only played 2 seasons, so far. So,
and maybe that's and maybe another reason why he's getting that comparison, because Greg's another guy that, I mean, he only has 1 season of experience. So, but just like Montez, he has that ceiling, and I don't want to say it would be a gamble drafting Rousseau, because every draft pick you're taking a gamble on, but it's hard to make that decision with such little experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Jew Talk Sports, man. What's good, man? He said he reminded him of Alden Smith. I think, that's a good comparison right there.
Yeah.
That is a good comparison.
Yeah, I like that one too.
So, 44 tackles as a high school junior, and it was offensively he made an early impression at 6'7". Rousseau put his natural height advantage to excellent use as a pass catcher. He snagged 28 passes for 467 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, and that's in Dade County too, man.
So he decided to just stay home.
Yeah.
Like that right there, like for Miami, and then you know the history of Miami. Like I'm not saying y'all struggling, but right now, like
we're struggling. It's all right.
As far as right now, recruiting in the state of Florida, you have, of course, Florida. Then you have, I'm not even gonna say Florida State. I'm just gonna say UCF is pretty much second. And then you have Florida State, and then you have Miami, and then you got South Florida.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's not even that. I mean, being in South Florida and being around Dade and Broward County, which produces the most talent, in my opinion, in the country for high school football. Yeah. I mean, you have Alabama recruiting here heavily. You got Clemson recruiting here heavily. Ohio State, and so. But it's interesting because this past recruiting cycle that just ended, we actually had the most blue chip players committed to us more than any other school out of the state of Florida. So, but Rousseau is just one of those guys. He wasn't a blue chip player coming out of high school. He's just a 3-star. He's kind of a diamond in the rough, man. Mm-hmm. I wish all players panned out like he did for the Hurricanes, but no, you can definitely say we're struggling because it's a fact.
Well, most athletes anyway, if they just consider an athlete, they're going to be a 3 or 4-star. They're not going to be 5-star.
Yeah.
They're so versatile. You really don't know what they master in. So that's why they rank them like as such.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, 5-star, I feel like it has to be specific to one position almost.
Exactly.
I like the fact of the athlete part because that means he's probably good on his feet. That's stuff he don't have to worry about. His footwork, his work ethic. So going from safety to wide receiver to DN is totally 3 different positions. So that shows he has a good, solid work ethic, and he wants the ball. It's not like he went from DN to the other side of the to D tackle. So when you can play safety and then go play wide receiver and then say, all right, I want to be a DN or get put at DN, that shows that you're very versatile, you're very athletic, and you can do a lot on the football field.
Well, and it another testament to that is after he got injured, his freshman year, he came back from that and played at a really high level. So Greg's a guy that's he's a hard worker. He was talking to coaches and just knowing Greg personally, he's a great kid and he's going to put in that work. But you also on that athlete side, that's a kind of player that you want in this modern age of football with these spread offenses. You need a guy that can is going to beat that tackle consistently off the edge and has that quickness that you just want to see in today's NFL. So he fits that mold for sure.
No.
Okay. All right. So the thing that we mentioned before the show started, all right, about Miami and recruiting and also build, y'all used to be a draft factory school. All right. Yeah. Y'all used to pull out a lot of talent for the NFL. That kind of, fizzled out over the last decade, but now y'all pretty much coming back and bringing more draft talent, into the NFL. There's another guy I'm gonna let you talk about for a minute. That plays DN in Miami, who's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Go ahead and shine a light about this player.
So Jalen Phillips, he's another defensive end. He coming out of high school in 2017, he was the #1 player in the entire country actually in his recruiting class, and committed to UCLA first. Spent 2 years there, but had some injury problems. Came to Miami and had to sit out his first year. And when he came to Miami, he had dropped down because of his injuries. He was down to 220 pounds actually. So I mean, I didn't think he was going to be able to return to, that level of play when he was in high school. But Greg opting out, I think, gave Jalen a real good, a better shot at starting, and so that's what he did. And he he blew up this year, just like Greg did in 2019. Jalen, the buzz started to grow as the weeks went on, and next thing I know, he's he's a first-round pick projection. And we say that Greg Rousseau is a physical freak, but Jalen, I mean, he is going to be. He's a monster. I mean, the guy is, I think, up to like 270 now. Being a 220, he is stacked. One thing that Miami's got a really good strength and conditioning coach, and we've got a great defensive line coach. And we actually, our new defensive line coach, he was working with the Falcons this past year. He's our old defensive line coach, but they do a great job there. And
you talking about Simpson?
Sorry, what was that?
Simpson.
Yes, sir. I'm so happy to have him back.
Man, y'all can have him.
Yeah.
Y'all can have that man. Like, our pass rush was trash.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, honestly, because the year that he only spent 1 year at Miami, 2018, and our defensive line was, incredible, and he always seemed like a pro guy, pro coach, but I don't. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, but, we're happy to have him back. But, yeah, him and Rousseau are both top 5 edge rushers coming into this draft, and Jalen is going to blow people away at this combine just because he has the quickness. But, just like Rousseau, he just needs some polishing. So, yeah, both are very, I think both are going to go in the top 20, both very valuable options at that position.
I'm about to say, if we can use another linebacker, Nick Bolton would be a stud.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still watching some tape on players, you guys. So, Nick Bolton would probably be on my list. Let me write it.
Yeah, I do need. I'm going to watch this film too on Nick Bolton.
Greens for growth, you guys. So,
but let me ask you a question. What was your favorite attribute about Mr. Greggory?
Attribute. He has great. He's great at bull rushing, but I think for me, it's not a specific attribute. I love his consistency. 2019, it seemed every single game he just kept getting better and better. A lot of these players, they're good for 2 games, but then you don't see them for 5 or 6 games, and they kind of just drop off. But with Greg, he seemed to keep developing as the season went on, and I think that's very, very important because you want your defense to be consistent, you want that pass rush to be consistent, and so. I think consistency and just going along with an improvement in his bull rush and great hands at the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot to like.
All right. So when you talk about scrims, we always got to talk about the weaknesses. So what was one of the least favorite attributes you've seen in him? I mean,
with Greg, I don't. It's not so much a weakness, but just a question mark. You can't really look at his game and say, oh wow, that's a glaring flaw in his game. But I think the biggest thing that could make him drop in the draft is just that he only does have 1 year of playing experience at the college level, and so it's going to be a risk taking him. You're going to need a year or 2 to really see what he's like and what he can do at the pro level. So
I think, with Dean Pease, I really feel like he can, progress fastly with development with the coaching staff with him, because he's proven he knows, this man, he knows D-line, he knows pass rushers. So he'll get a lot of reps, in-game reps his first year. And then second year, he should be, where he needs to be as far as development.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to be, Greg's not going to be a guy that's going to immediately jump out and dominate, but
he's not going to be like a Chase Young or
he's not going to be Chase Young, but
Bosa,
yeah, but I think at the really in his second year is when you're going to see what made him a first round pick.
Okay. All right. So, one thing I want to talk about is like the fractured ankle in 2018, which missed a whole season. We already been drafting players who had past injuries. We had drafted Tack with the shoulders. He had bad shoulders, and he's still not, I guess, up to par wherever he's. I think he's at Oakland right now.
It's because he sucks, but that's a different story.
Well, whatever. but he stayed injured. So would that be a factor for him being pro, and can he sustain a healthy career? Because the thing is, we have to, whoever we drafting, they can't be getting injured like that. Like we don't have time for that. I'm talking about the Falcons. We just don't have time for that. Like, we need someone to get to the quarterback often.
Yeah, it's whether or not it's an issue, it's there. So any team that drafts him knows what they're getting. But since the time that he got injured in the spring or I guess in the fall of 2018, there hasn't been a problem with Greg. He didn't miss any games in 2019 due to injury, and he didn't sit out any practices, anything like that. Hasn't been injured since he's been training. Situations like that. But I wouldn't say it's a concern, and it's not something that really would. I know that it'll probably have him drop a few spots just because those probably teams don't want to spend a top 10 pick on that, but it's not an overly concerning factor, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that. So the Falcons sitting at 4th overall right now. All right. And the thing is, if we picking 4, do you think we should get Rousseau?
At 4?
At 4. I'm asking you this question. I already know what I'm going to say.
I know. I don't think you should pick him at 4. I love Gregory Rousseau. I think he's a great talent, but no, I don't think he is the choice at 4. I am seeing him more so between the 15 and 25 range. Just you gotta be honest. So
yeah. So who do you think would be a great pick for the Falcons at number 4?
Well, that depends. Are you guys trying to move on from the Matt Ryan era?
Whoa. No.
No, you guys
no,
aren't
we
there
are
yet?
not. No. Not yet. Maybe next year, but not this year. Well, that's my personal opinion. I can't speak for all Falcons fans. I can't speak for all Falcons fans. But my personal opinion is no.
Okay.
I said to myself, I'm not going to take myself down tonight, and I'm going to stick to it.
What, you're saying no too?
Yeah, we're both on the no.
I ain't saying no. I'm saying no.
I think probably you guys need help on defense, so maybe a cornerback like Trey Lance. Maybe would you guys take Parsons if you could?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm a huge Michael Parsons kind of guy. I've been screaming Michael Parsons since the game was over. So the last game of the season. So if we take Michael Parsons, y'all know I'm gonna be hyped. Everybody that follow the channel know I'm gonna be hyped. I might just have to get me a Michael Parsons jersey. So it's gonna be a great year.
I think he would be I see probably 2 quarterbacks going in the top 3 picks. So it really just depends on the Dolphins I've seen mock drafts that have the Dolphins taking him at 3, but they don't really need help at linebacker. And I think Parsons or Trey Lance would be a really good. I'm a huge Parsons fan.
I like Parsons, but I love Penny Sewell. I feel like the Falcons should get Sewell.
Yeah. So funny story. He is from the same town in Utah that my parents are from, and so we have mutual connections there. I think Sewell's a really, really good player. You don't see that kind of athletic tackle, so much. And yeah, Sewell would be good as well. I'm surprised to see him dropping in some mock drafts, but
man, no. If we at 4, we getting him. We need to get this man. I want this man on my line. I look like everything I seen out of this kid. Like I'm like, oh man, like I be dreaming about Sewell, like just getting up to the second level, allowing our running back to get 20 yards here and there. Like that's what I want.
Okay, yeah, I guess it's really just between Sewell, Lance, and Parsons. You just have to make that decision.
Yeah, I don't think Lance, man. Lance is too raw for me, man. Like, and we don't have the quarterback. We don't have nobody here to develop a Trey Lance. We just don't. Like, we hired Arthur Smith, the former offensive coordinator for the Titans. He's our head coach now. He's not a quarterback guru. He knows offensive line and run game. That's pretty much his expertise. And we didn't hire a quarterbacks coach. We got a quarterback coach. We got a offense coordinator, but those guys are not quarterback gurus. So I don't trust those guys with anybody who needs more development than what they need. Like unless we drafting Trevor Lawrence, if Trevor Lawrence there at 4, if you want to get him. But I feel like that'd be a waste of a pick because we need to fix other things. Because we need help on defense, man. We need help on defense in our offensive line. But going back to Rousseau, if we decide to trade back and get more draft capital, and Sewell's going to be gone, Parsons going to be gone, Patrick Surtain is going to be gone, and you find yourself in the teens with the trade that you just executed, I would take a Rousseau. Yeah, I would take either a Rousseau or I take Elijah Vera Tucker, the left guard from USC. I've been watching film on him. He looks good. He looks good as a guard, and that right there fits the problems with the offensive line right there. But you can still draft a Rousseau in the teams.
Yeah. In the teams, I think you could take Rousseau or Jalen Phillips, honestly. And then if you need further help on the defensive line, there's a third defensive end coming out of Miami this year as well. So that is projected in the second or third round. If you trade back to get in the teens, honestly, either Rousseau or Phillips, I think would be really good. I have a feeling Rousseau though is going to probably have the better pro career. His pass rushing skills are. I really wish he played this past year because he's fun to watch on the defensive line.
Yeah. Shout out to Wallace in the chat with this one right here. Matt Ryan will be here next year also. With that comment, I want Matt Ryan to be here for the next 3 years, but I want us to take a quarterback next year, and then he sit behind Matt Ryan and get groomed. So it's not that I want the new quarterback to take over. I just want I want Sam Howell. So
So let me go off script a little bit because I said I was going to be quiet about the situation, but it's hard. It's just hard. I tried. Look, I last 5 minutes.
That is true. You got to give you
progress.
Growth. We're working on growth, and that is growth. I agree.
Exactly. So what's your take on Matt Ryan?
I like Matt Ryan. I mean, I've always been a Matt Ryan fan. I watched him, play in college when they would come down and play Miami. He's had a great career, but sometimes, I don't know exactly what his stats were like this past year. But he's coming up on his 11th year. Is that right?
He's coming off his 13th year.
So sometimes it's better if there's an option, like if there's a guy that you want to move on or move away from a quarterback with another quarterback in mind. So I can tell Falcons fans I want to know what Falcons fans are thinking. Like if they're
which type of Falcons fans, because that's the thing. We ain't all in unison when it comes to what we want. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Well, we are in unison on this show. Outside of this show, we cannot help you.
Yeah. He is who he is. Honestly, Matt Ryan. I don't think this may seem bad to say, but I think he's probably in the decline of his career. Is that safe to say?
No. It's look. Let me tell you something real quick, son. All right. The issue with the Falcons has been coaching. We had Dirk Cutter. I don't know if you know who that is. Yeah, one of the worst offensive coordinators known to man. All right. He was the head coach of the Buccaneers before Bruce Arians got there.
Okay.
Now you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Trash. Yeah. So it just the play calling just was crazy. It was just horrible, man. It was just a nightmare just watching our offense just go. Like we got Julio, we have Calvin Ridley, we have Hayden Hurst, we had Todd Gurley, like, and we could even score often like we need to, but like we said, man, that's been the issue with the Falcons. It's not Matt Ryan, it's the coaching. Now, you've been a Dolphins fan for how long?
So I'm not even a Dolphins fan. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my goodness. You should have kept your mouth shut.
Oh, wow.
I know, man. I know.
Oh my.
So you're not a Dolphins fan. So you cheer for the Dolphins, right?
Not really, honestly.
Okay,
I like
you follow them.
I like Tua, and I have to cover them or I have to talk about them at my job. So,
all right, but you look at the Dolphins' history of quarterbacks. All right, since Dan Marino hung it up,
it's awful.
All right, you know how many times they moved on for quarterbacks, and yes, some quarterbacks needed to be moved on from, but y'all had doggone Jay Fielder, AJ Philly. Y'all had Chad Pennington, Cole Pepper. Y'all had Ryan Tannehill. Then y'all brought in I forgot Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
And then y'all brought in y'all drafted Tua, and then y'all brought back Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So there's no continuity in that position. Like Miami has been finding forever for a quarterback since Marino left. And even look at the Cowboys. Like,
oh, I know.
Since doggone Troy Aikman left. Like, yeah, y'all can sit. Cowboys gonna sit up here and say like Tony Romo. Tony, come on now.
I hate Tony Romo.
He's average at best. He's
He's average.
average. Dak, that's the thing, man. Dallas got a good offensive line. And that's the thing. That's how Dallas looked good in 2016 and 17. Y'all had one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, well, and we have a really good offensive line. We have a great trio of receivers now with Gallup, Amari, and CeeDee Lamb, Zeke. I don't know what's happening with Zeke, but Dak is okay, I guess. I'm not overly crazy about him. I don't think we're gonna ever win a Super Bowl with him. But
you're not.
Yeah, we're not. I don't know, man. The Cowboys, they just bring me pain.
And the thing about Zeke, man, like we say this a lot, running backs don't last in the league forever.
He's done.
Yeah. It was his rookie year was so good that people just expected him to be on that level for the rest of his career, but he's had some crazy problems since that year. So I don't know where we're going, man, with the Cowboys. I hope that we either pay Dak or look for ways to move on. But I hate this kind of limbo that we're in with him. But yeah, the Falcons. What I like about the Falcons and Matt Ryan is that you guys know that you're going to have that consistent guy at quarterback. When you talk about the Dolphins and sometimes the Cowboys, like they're not always sure that they found their guy, but with Matt Ryan, you go into every season confident in at least your quarterback. So that's a very, very good thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like we got to focus on defense, but man, you a Cowboys fan. It ain't just about everybody looking at Dak. Y'all, yeah, Dak ain't. I ain't gonna say he's not the problem, but y'all biggest problem is the guy, the imposter. And you know who I'm talking about,
Mr. Jones.
Not well. He just there. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, y'all. Look, the only way y'all gonna get rid of that man is y'all already know it. And I ain't even finna wish. I don't burn bread on nobody, but but I'm talking about Mike McCarthy.
Oh, well, yeah. That was the dumbest hire. That was so lazy. That made no sense. I was so mad when we hired Mike McCarthy because I felt like he was just a guy, just like Jason Garrett. Like,
yeah, that's it.
An average guy. Like, we're gonna go 8-8 again, and we're just
can't even do that.
Yeah, I told people about Mike McCarthy and Cowboys for Jerry Jones. This man he spent the night in my house. I'm like, first off, don't nobody want to hear that. One, two, like, why are you so high on this man? Like, this man hasn't done anything in like 10 years. And when he won the Super Bowl, he just rode the coattails of Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not just going to just talk about Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers back then had a defense.
Yeah, you had Clay Matthews. Not
just Clay Matthews, you had Rodgers, you had Charles Woodson. Like, you had playmakers on that defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the McCarthy hire. We waited way too long to fire Jason Garrett. Like at the end of the day, it all comes back to Jerry Jones. He's the main problem, and
micromanage everything, and just get a GM, let them run it. Get a president, GM, let them run the team. You just make sure money coming in so you can be on the yacht or whatever you want to do. Like, I don't know. What's good, Floyd? Man, appreciate you.
Lost him.
Yeah. He'll be back. Yeah. We'll just chat with the people in the chat. Dan Quinn's a new hire also. Yeah, I'm laughing at the Cowboys. I was going to bring that up to Atlanta Nation. Yeah. Man, oof. But it'd be funny if they make the playoffs this year. And my crew, huh?
Not with that defense.
Look, if the Cowboys make the playoffs and if their defense is top 10,
that's not happening. What are you, crazy?
I know. Look, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying if. I'm just saying if.
Well, we just hired your guys' coach as defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I'm like, y'all really don't know what y'all doing. But like I said, sometimes stars align for the good, and sometimes stars align for the bad.
Yeah, the stars usually don't align good for the Cowboys in the last 20 years. Honestly, honestly, once I was born, they stopped winning. So
pretty much.
It's the same thing with the Canes. So it's frustrating.
Let me ask you this, not to make this about the Cowboys or bashing the Cowboys. How do you feel about Dak Prescott and then him coming back?
It sucked to see him go out with an injury last year because he was killing it before he went out. I mean, he was. I hadn't seen that Dak. I didn't know that Dak Prescott, was a part of his game. But it's going to be interesting to see how he comes back off this injury. At the end of the day, do I think he's going to, be the team to lead us deep into the playoffs and make a Super Bowl run? No. I don't. I'm so indifferent about Dak. I wish that we could like just trade everything and go for a guy like Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, because I really think that with the talent that we have on offense, we are really just a quarterback away from doing something special, and you can't rely on. I'm not going to say Dak's average; he's probably a little bit better than average, but yeah, but it's not even about Dak. It's this defense too that is. Our defense was worse than your guys's, probably.
Man, I don't know about that. I feel like nobody defense was worse than ours, but I saw numbers. We were at the bottom, and y'all was there too. So, but
I remember we played you guys like week 2, and the final score was like 45. It was a high scoring game. That's all I remember.
And we messed up on special teams. Like nobody wanted to. Everybody playing hot potato with the doggone onside kick. So that's why.
So I wouldn't even say we messed up on the onside kick. We messed up in the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah. Defense gave us leads. Yeah.
What was 18 in the fourth?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to bring it up, but I mean, giving up leads.
Hey, we real Falcons fans. We understand.
We understand.
You just have to laugh at it, man, and just hang your head and like, damn. I'm sorry. Like, hey, at least you guys made it to the Super Bowl a few years ago. I haven't even seen my team in a Super Bowl. So,
hey, at least you can go back and look at VHS tapes of y'all actually winning something. So,
you can't win nothing.
No, you can't win nothing. But we'll get it one day.
We can't win the game. We got 98% chance of winning. Crazy, right?
Hey, I mean, I love Atlanta. I have family in Atlanta. Like I love going there. The Canes first game of the year is at your guys' stadium. We're playing Alabama.
I know Uncle Luke was up here.
Oh, Uncle Luke.
He was up here. I trust and believe. I remember, and I'm pretty sure he found himself down there in Magic City somehow. So
hey, we all do at some point, man.
Hey, well, it is what it is.
You guys deserve a win. I don't know which team is going to bring you guys a title, but you guys deserve a championship for sure.
Look, man. I seen United win one in 2018. Look, Braves last year, like we was up 3-1, and I literally sat there and I'm like, look, this one game is gonna be harder to win than anything else.
Game 5.
And couldn't do it. And the bats got cold because everybody kept thinking the pitching. Pitching was all right, except for one of those games. But the bats got cold. We couldn't muster up any offense at all, and we let it slip away. Just October is always a worst month for Georgia sports because you got the Bulldogs gonna lose one game.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves, they gonna do something in the playoffs. The Falcons, they go on a lose streak. Hawks basketball, we dreading that coming back. Like, man, these guys gonna really do something this year? Like, and then Atlanta United, we've been winning with them, but like I remember 2019, like we lost in against Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals. So yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, Wallace had said something earlier about Micah Parsons about the hazing thing. Just to shed some clarity, after that that was in 2019. He didn't play in 2020, so that's why you haven't heard anything from Micah Parsons since then.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. When you part of fraternities and stuff like that, it's gonna happen. Like they try to sit up here and say that they don't do it, or look, that's their ritual. And if you want to sign up and do something like that, whatever happens, hey, that's on you.
Yeah, I
agree. That's on you. You allowing it. So like, I just don't like when people come out like, oh, they did this to me. I'm like, well, did you agree to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
is that what it was? It was a fraternity thing.
I don't know if it's hazing. If it's hazing, I'm thinking it could be fraternity. It could be, there's hazing on football teams. There's hazing on band. There's hazing everywhere. Like there's hazing at jobs. Like you the new person, you the new whipping boy. You the new
pretty much.
Aaron
boy.
At jobs, like trust and believe. My first year teaching, like I was the person I had to go and get everybody lunch.
Yeah.
To get everybody. But the thing is, I knew that I had to earn people's respect. So,
with the rookies. They do it in the NFL with the rookies.
Yeah, they do it in the NFL with the rookies. Yeah.
With the rookies. Everywhere you go, they feel the person on the block, you gotta it's what happens.
Yeah, they put chocolate syrup all in your clothes and stuff. And I'm like, see.
You just gotta get through it.
I had to fight somebody for that. But
some stuff is just overboard. I remember one hazing, I won't say hazing, but one rookie prank where they put like that little foam all in their car. So like when they opened the door, all the white foam came out. Like, dang, dog. My car, I would be kind of mad.
Yeah, somebody did something like with M&Ms and stuff. I'm like, don't do that. Like, how hard it is to get like M&Ms out of a car. Like, it's hard enough to get them under the seat. Like, them things stay under there forever. Yeah. Unless you take the seats out and you gotta, do what you gotta do. So
2 years later, you found that red M&M. Like, wow.
And I'll be like, did I drop this yesterday or did I drop this 2 years ago? So let me stop.
Are you eating it, Don? You eating it? Are you gonna eat it?
No, I'm throwing it away, man.
Oh yeah, throw it away.
Throw it away. Yeah, but let's get back. But it's been an exciting show, man. Like it's good, relaxed, laid back. I hope everybody in the chat. I hope y'all are joining and everything. So here's the thing about one of my hometown supporters, Rashad. Shouts out to Rashad. It's his birthday today. He turned 34. Happy birthday, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your support. You've been here with me since day one. So man, I love you, man. So appreciate you. Happy birthday. All right. But he's been really high on Rousseau. Like I remember like earlier in the 2000s, this past season just started. He said, man, you need to watch some Rousseau tape. And I'm like, I heard of the kid. And I know he opted out. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Because I'm ACC players, yeah, they good, but I'm ready to, I'm more of I watch a lot of Big Ten. I watch a lot of Big Ten because I'm a Michigan fan. I watch SEC, of course, and I watch some Pac-12 as well. So but I watched it and I was impressed. I'm like, wow, like he's gonna go in the first round. But as the season progressed and where we land in fourth overall, and I'm like, that's kind of a reach to get him at 4. But if we somehow trade back, get more draft capital, and you can pick him up, I'll be fine with that. So that's what that's where I'm at right now.
My only thing with Rousseau is it's going to take time for him to get better. And as the Falcons they need an impact player this year. They don't need somebody that's going to be better in their year 3 or you see progress through 2 and 3. No, they need somebody that's going to step on the field as a rookie and make an impact. So whatever team he goes to, I think he'll be great down the line. He'll be a good player down the line. But just as a Falcons fan and knowing what the Falcons need, they need somebody that's going to step on the field day one and make an impact if we're going to draft them in the first round.
The first 3 picks, to be honest with you, rounds 1, 2, and 3, these guys going to have to be week 1 starters. Like, there's nothing to it. This depth chart right now is thin. We need 2 safeties. We need a pass rusher. We need a left guard. We need a running back. Like it's a lot we need.
Yeah, if we're gonna switch to the 3-4, we're gonna need another linebacker. So it's a lot. So it's no knock against Greg. It's just the fact that what the Falcons need when he step on the field, gotta be a starter, and we need somebody that's gonna produce day one.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but I think Greg, and also, I keep bringing up Jalen Phillips. I think they're going to be available if you do decide to trade back and have a pick in the mid to late teens. I think both are options to bring in and would be day one contributors. Jalen probably a little bit more NFL ready than Greg, but I think Greg has the higher upside. But it just goes down to what kind of patience is this team going to have in developing this guy and really seeing how high his ceiling is.
Exactly. Well, all right. Well, hey, we appreciate you coming on. We really do. Once again, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you.
Yeah. So my Twitter is at Hurricanes Marsh. Pretty active on there. I'm always down to talk football. I blog. I'm a writer for State of the U. I host the Fours Up podcast, and then I host a radio show down here in Miami called 4th and 20. But yeah, man, I appreciate you boys having me on, and hopefully your team. It would be exciting to see a hurricane come down to Miami. So hopefully that all works out for the Falcons.
I appreciate it. And one more question, Nick Turner. Appreciate you, man. This is a great question. Is Greg better than Pay, the defensive end for Michigan?
I think so. I haven't looked at Pay's film a lot, but it looks like Greg was a little bit more consistent. He has higher production numbers, but obviously in my opinion, the offensive line's a lot better in the Big Ten. So yeah,
Pay's stronger. Like I've seen push people in the backfield.
Yeah, or they're better techniques and this isn't biased, but yeah, I think Greg would probably grade out slightly better just because of his upsize, his size and size in general. So
and speed too, by the way. So, but yeah, but thank you again, man, and everybody that's watching watching live. Appreciate y'all joining us. We really appreciate it. If you're watching this at a later time, please let us know what you think about Gregory Rousseau. Do you think we should pick him either at 4, or should we trade back and get him, or no, we need to go on to get a quarterback and sit behind trash Matt Ryan, that trash train on the upcoming quarterback? I'm just joking, you guys. But whatever. I'm just using y'all words against y'all. That's what I'm doing. So, Trail Sports and Gaming said Greg is second best. We need first best, which is Micah Parsons. Mike Parsons. I butchered everybody's name, man. So
yeah. Hey, we all say so.
All right. So, Trev, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. But the thing is with this depth chart, you want to get the best player, or do you want to get more draft capital and get more picks, more bang for your buck? Because like I said, we don't have any money in free agency. I want to see how Terry Fortnell is gonna maneuver things and try to sign players. If we sign some good veterans, a good amount of veterans this offseason, hey, I'll be fine. But we'll see how everything works. I'm just ready for this free agency to start because I want to see what we're gonna end up doing. So, but if you're new to the channel, y'all already know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this content out with Atlanta Sports Fanatics, and hit us up in the comment section. As always, come holler at your hometown sports podcast. It's your boy, The Don, my co-host, King.
Yo, so don't forget we doing Kings Round post-game Atlanta Hawks tomorrow, 10 p.m. We got the San Antonio Spurs, yo. We cannot sleep on the Spurs. If you haven't been watching basketball, they are balling. They do have the best coach in basketball in Greg Popovich. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow, 10 p.m. after we beat the Spurs. And always remember to love yourself.
And we got shows on 2 shows on Saturday. We got a show Sunday afternoon. So we doing shows every day. So stay tuned. Hey, we ain't stopping for nobody. So y'all have a great evening. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
Peace.